Good afternoon, Tuscaloosa. Good afternoon, Tuscaloosa and internet world. How are we doing on this beautiful Thursday? Joe Gaither right here hanging out with you guys on the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central. We're part of the Bama Central Broadcasting Network. We encourage you to listen to all our Bama Central Broadcasting Network shows. We've got our friends Katie Wyndham and Austin Hannon rocking at all things Bama, and Blue Collar Unplugged with Matthew Gibson, Blake Byler, and Jacob Pickle handling all things Alabama basketball related. So make sure you're tuning in to those two shows as well, as we're all bringing you all things Alabama right here on BamaCentral.com, the Sports Illustrated home for your Crimson Tide. So appreciate everybody jumping in and giving us another day. We're going to have a fun Thursday. Actually, it's the start. We're opening up fall camp. Fall camp gets opened up today. We'll hear from Nick Saban about 4:30 or so. Nick Saban's going to tell us who the quarterback is. He's going to tell us the game plan against Mississippi MTSU. He's going to tell us exactly what he's going to do against Texas. All that good stuff. He's going to tell us at 4:30. No, just kidding. He's going to tell us how great the guys looked at first day of practice, and he's going to tell us we got a long way to go, and everybody's got to improve X, Y, Z, A, B, C, coach speak stuff. But it's going to be great to be in the Naylor Stone media room today and hearing from the GOAT. So it's awesome. We're going to get started today with fall practice. But today's show is going to be very golf centric, and I'm really, really excited to bring you a golf centric show. If you guys follow me at all, you know that I do love golf. You know that I'm terrible, absolutely terrible, but I love to watch and I like to play. So we are going to jump on and go ahead and bring on our guest for today is going to be Mr. Canon Claycomb. Canon Claycomb joins us, the senior member of the Alabama golf team, and it looks like you're driving back. Canon, you postponed our Monday talk, and it was totally fine, no problem at all. In retrospect, I'm realizing you postponed it maybe to play in an amateur event this weekend or this week.
Yes. Yeah, I was
Awesome.
just up in Chicago, so I'm driving home now. I hope that's all right.
Oh no, it is okay. Actually, wow. Okay, well, I was on. I drove back from Chicago last weekend. I went to Chicago Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and drove back most of the night, Sunday, Saturday evening. So be careful. It's a very easy drive, but yeah, be careful.
Absolutely. Thank you.
No problem. Thanks for giving me some of your time. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate it so much. First, obviously, I'm reading that you participated in the Western Amateur and you performed pretty well, but unfortunately missed the cut. What was your experience like up at the North Shore Country Club? And just what's your summer been like rocking on the amateur circuit?
Yeah, North Shore was great. Chicago is like one of my favorite places to play golf, especially during the summer. It's beautiful up here, so it was a good week. Missed the cut by a shot. 156 players, cut to 44. So big field, big cut, barely missed. But we have two guys that did make the cut: Jonathan Grizz and Nick Dunlap. So proud of those guys. But yeah, it's been an Alabama summer, man. Like I've been playing all these amateur events. Our boy Nick Dunlap's been putting on a show everywhere he goes. So we've been proud to have him. I love having him on the team. He's been a great asset to our program, and I love watching him do great things. And personally, I've played some really solid golf this summer. Had an 8th place at Sunny Hana, a top 20 at the Northeast Am, a top 35 at the North South, and then T51 here this week, which wasn't great, but and then a T12 at the Kentucky Open. So it's been a good summer. Played a lot. About to play the USAM next week, so going to get ready for that. And another big Bama showing. We have 4 guys playing next week, which I would imagine is one of the higher totals for a college team at the USM. So, yeah, man, it's been a Bama summer, and it's been a good summer, and we're excited to get back to Tuscaloosa soon.
Absolutely, school starting probably 3 or 4 weeks from now, and you're coming back for a 5th year. You've been here for 4 years. We love it. We're excited to have you back for a 5th season. But why don't you tell the fans what went into you deciding? You know what? I'm coming back for a 5th year. We're going to keep going here in Tuscaloosa. We got some goals to accomplish.
Yeah, absolutely. Goals to accomplish was very high up on the list of reasons to come back. I came to school early. I came in January. I graduated high school early, so I've actually yet to get my degree. I graduated in December, so that was a big part of me coming back. I wanted to get my undergraduate degree. But yeah, I mean, I'd be lying if I said it was not mainly golf, the reason to come back. So I think we're going to have a really, really good team this year. I think for the people that, kind of started following us again last year, they saw, we made leaps and bounds from the year before that, finishing 11th at NCAAs this past year, and played really solid at the SEC tournament as well, competed with some really good teams. So I think, I don't want to be the guy that tells everybody we're going to win a national championship, but I would be, lying if I said that wasn't the goal in our locker room every day and at practice, and in our group chats all summer. We've already been talking about that end of year goal. So that was a big part of me coming back for a fifth year.
I don't think there's anything wrong with embracing those goals. I think that's that is very good. You talk about the strong team coming back. Yourself, Nick Dunlap, and Thomas Ponder are three guys who started every event last year. You're obviously going to move to have two other golfers fill those top 5 spots. Just talk just your thoughts and how comfortable it is going into a year where you're like, okay, I know I'm going to have Thomas and Nick right next to me all year long. We've already done it together for a year, Nick's freshman year, and you and Thomas for a while now. But going into a second year with the three of you guys being that core member, how much confidence does that give you guys?
Yeah, a huge amount of confidence, man. It's always nice to go to these tournaments and have a little pressure taken off your back, knowing you don't have to shoot 65 to, carry the team. And I don't. Nick Dunlap he's really, really good, and he performs every week. And Pondy is the same way. So there is a huge amount of pressure taken off of us three, knowing that, we have each other around us. And, last year we were kind of just struggling to fill that 5 spot. And I think there's going to be a lot of competition for the 4 and 5 spot this year. Seawell's done a great job getting in the portal and also recruiting freshmen. So we're gonna have a very competitive team. Qualifying is going to be serious, and I think that's our missing piece as of right now. And if we can figure out how to get the 4 and 5 guys to consistently contribute, we're going to be in a really good spot.
That's really exciting. You've mentioned Nick Dunlap a handful of times, and obviously very, very highly recruited, and he's performed very, very well already in his short time with Alabama, qualifying for the Walker Cup. Just what's it like playing with somebody who's so talented? I mean, look, I see you guys play on TV, and I'm like, I wish I could do that. What's it like to play with somebody who's so talented and at such a young age?
Yeah, it's a blessing, man. It's funny because I look at him as like the freshman, sophomore little kid, but he's really not. I mean, he's a grown man, and he looks like a grown man. He acts like a grown man, and he plays golf like a professional. So to have him on our team and to have him as someone I can play against every day, practice with, is amazing. And shout out to him, man. Making the Walker Cup is a legit accomplishment. Not many people can say they played on a Walker Cup team. And not many people can say they played on a Walker Cup team at St. Andrews, where golf was created. So, yeah, I mean, just shout out to him. He's played great. He deserves every bit of recognition that he gets. I don't remember anyone winning back-to-back elite amateur series events, and I've been playing him for 7 or 8 years now. So he's had a heck of a summer. He had a heck of a season at Bama. I think he was a first or second team All-American, and yeah, I mean, he's just a great golfer. He's a great player, and we're blessed to have him on our squad. And I text his mom every once in a while, seeing what he plays and playing at Bama or on Facebook. I'll be like, thank goodness he's on my team because I don't want to play against him. It's great. And we're really thankful that he chose Alabama. And I think he's really embraced it. And yeah, he's just a great teammate. So shout out to Nick.
There we go. Let's talk about Coach Seawell real quick. Coach Seawell has been with the University of Alabama for quite a while now. Obviously, had a lot of success. But for my amateur and my idiocy, you don't get the same approach like Nate Oates and Nick Saban. We're yelling at our players. We're motivating our players. What does Coach Seawell? How does one coach golf outside of obviously recruiting top level players like yourself? How does one coach golf and keep the excellency or keep the performance high, but not really. You don't want to get in your golfer's minds in a negative way. Talk about Coach Seawell, your relationship with him, and really just what goes into making a good golf coach.
For sure, yeah. I mean, Seawell's been great. He was a huge part of the reason I came to Alabama. He established a great culture at UA. He's won back-to-back national championships, a couple
Yep.
SEC championships. But what makes him a great golf coach is he knows the game is hard, right? Like you were saying in your intro, you're terrible or whatever. Like, I mean, the
Yeah,
golf
I
game is
am.
hard. Like, the average golfer shoots 100, over 100. So, like, we play a very difficult sport. And a lot of times, like, well, if we have a bad day, it's just kind of he washes his hands and it's like, all right, like, we have another day. So go back out and do it all over again. And we're going to fix what we did bad. But he's not like a Nate Oates or a Saban where he yells at you or gets in your face. Like, I don't think in golf that's going to work very well.
Right.
But he does a really good job of controlling the moment, in my opinion. He always has insight as to what we can do better, what we did bad. But it's never in a negative tone. Like, even the second day at NCAAs, we shot like 1,000. We played terrible. And it was just one of those things where he was kind of like, guys, like, you're better than this. We played bad today. We're going to play good tomorrow. And that's a fact. Like, and he believes it as a fact. And I think that gives us a lot of confidence. And it also allows us to be players, right? Like, we're not having to play for Seawell. Like, I don't have to shoot a score for Seawell, because at the end of the day, he tells us that he loves us and he knows that it's a hard sport. So he does a great job on that. I think it's a little bit of like soft love instead of tough love. But he does have that side of him where he can flip the switch and you're a little scared of him. So all around, great coach, great guy. And he was another big reason why I chose to come back for a 5th year. So yeah, love Coach Seawell.
What's your favorite milkshake?
Strawberry. From
Strawberry.
Chick-fil-A. Yeah, strawberry from Chick-fil-A.
Okay, we love that. Did you have a favorite milkshake moment or memory that stands out to you above any of the rest?
Yeah, 100%. When we won regionals this year. We got milkshakes at Chick-fil-A after, and honestly, I didn't even care about the milkshake. Like, all I really cared about was looking every OU fan in the eye that came to watch their team beat us, and they didn't. And that was way better of a feeling than any milkshake I've ever had, because we were in Norman. We were at their home golf course. We weren't supposed to win, and we did win. And we won by quite a lot, like 8 or 9. So, yeah, I mean, like, that milkshake was great. I remember that one the most, but, like, I really remember OU fans having to tell us congratulations instead of telling OU congratulations. So, yeah, that was the one that stands out for me.
I love that. That's awesome. That's great. We saw Coach Seawell last week go up to Minnesota to experience the 3M Open win with Lee Hodges, and then obviously you saw Davis Shore winning on the Canadian PGA Tour as well. JT's had tons of success. His success kind of speaks for itself. What's it mean for you to be a part of the legacy, a part of the Alabama golf family that's really turning out big time golfers and pros and making money and making a name for themselves?
Yeah, it's awesome, man. I mean, huge shout out to Lee and Davis. I know Davis more than I know Lee. He was a little bit before my time, but I did play with Davis, so really happy to see him playing well. But yeah, I think there's just a culture like at Alabama that Seawell has a really good job. He's done a really good job of producing. And we just, we practice hard, we work out hard, we go to class, like, we do things the right way. And I think that translates over into professional golf, because once you stop having to go to class and you can practice for 7 hours instead of 3 hours, like, it's a big change and a big difference, and you can get better quick. But all these guys coming out of Bama right now are so, they're just showing up and playing really good everywhere they go. So there's something that we're doing in practice or daily that's, helping these guys really play like elite golf. And they're also just getting opportunities. Like Lee grinded, he was Corn Ferry for a little bit. He was on the PGA Tour for a couple of years, and he got his breakthrough win. But they're just grinders, man. They put it down, they go to work. And I think that started when they were at Alabama, right? Like, they were a really good team. Lee was on a really great team that competed for a national championship. I'm sure that had something to do with how successful he's been. Same with Davis. Davis was on that team. But yeah, it's a huge part.
There we go.
Can you hear me?
Yes, there we go. Yes, sir. I think I lost the last part of your answer, but that's all right. I was just waiting on
Sorry.
it to catch back up. um, okay, yeah. So since we're talking about the Alabama golfers in the pros at the moment, what can we do, or what advice? I think you had a little bit of connection with Justin Thomas with the Kentucky connection. How did Justin, or how did his success coming from Kentucky going to Alabama really influence you to choosing Alabama, or did it at all?
Yeah, it was a big part for sure. I took lessons from a guy that taught JT as well, so I did have like some contact with JT, and I obviously looked up to him because he's a great golfer and great player. And I remember I have like a picture of his like signed from when he was playing at Alabama. I got it when I was like 13 or 14, and I was like, I want to go to Alabama. Like that's where I want to go to school. And that was just like a big part of the recruiting process, and like he was always kind of like around the conversation. And yeah, it was great. I mean, like I'm still in touch with him every once in a while. He answers my texts, which is nice of him. But yeah, he's a great person to have around. I mean, I've loved like keeping up with him, watching him play. I mean, because he's winning majors, he's playing on Ryder Cups, he's doing all these great things. So it is really cool to like see a guy that did the exact same thing that I'm doing right now have immense success on the PGA Tour. And JT's just like the tip of the iceberg. Like there's Trey Mullinax, there's Lee Hodges, there's Wilson Furr, there's Davis Shore. I mean, like there's Davis Riley. Like the list goes on and on. So these guys are just like, they're coming back to Tuscaloosa and helping out with us a lot. We're practicing, and we get to see that. And then I think it makes that transition to the next step a lot easier because you see these guys, and not that they're not amazing, but you're like, okay, I can kind of hang with these guys. And I think it gives you confidence going to that next level. But it's awesome that, we have these guys kind of paving the way and doing great and having a lot of success. And, everybody at the golf program is really, really proud of those guys. So, yeah, super great to see.
What can we do, or what kind of advice? I mean, obviously JT's not in any position to be like, I am not giving any advice for JT, but he's kind of had a difficult summer, to put it nicely. What can we do to get him back on track? Get him a new putter. What's the trick for JT to get back on track?
Yeah, I mean, like, so I haven't been keeping up with it a ton. I just see his scores, obviously, but
Right.
it's weird, like he's telling everybody he's not playing that bad, so I'm gonna take him for his word. It might just be a couple errant shots here or there, or the flat stick's not working, which is, it's tough to play good when you're not putting it good.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, like the one thing I would say about JT is like he's a dog, and like I would want the ball in his hands like every time. So he might be struggling right now, but like I wouldn't count on him struggling for long. And I also think like he should probably still be a pick for the Ryder Cup team because he wants the ball in his hands. And like if he has to play someone one-on-one in match play, I think he's going to beat him even if he's struggling. So yeah, the only thing I would say is he's a dog, and like I trust him to take the last shot if it was basketball. But yeah, I think he's going to be fine. He probably just needs to like do a couple putting drills or like hit a couple drivers, and they'll figure it out. I'm not super worried about JT.
He needs to finish tied for 18th this weekend to qualify for the FedEx Cup, qualify for the playoffs. So kind of a big weekend for him. But look, I'm in agreement. He's whatever happens to him, he's going to be many, many more years of great golf ahead of him.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, even if he misses the playoffs, that might not be the worst thing in the world for him. So wishing him luck. I'm sure he can do T18 or better, especially at the Wyndham. But yeah, we'll see. He has a lot of success there too. That was his PGA Tour debut, I believe. Was the Wyndham.
I think you're exactly right.
Yeah.
What do you think about Old Colony? We so the peons over here, we love playing over at Old Colony because it's a beautiful course. What's it like for you guys over there to practice over there, and kind of what are some of your favorite aspects of it?
Yeah, I mean the paid is great. Like our facility at Old Colony is good. I love hanging out there. We have everything that we need at the practice facility. We don't really play Old Colony that much, which is kind of a shame because I think it's a really good golf course. It's just the city doesn't take good enough care of it. So we play a lot at Indian Hills, North River. We'll go to Birmingham a good amount. But, I mean, like for the city of Tuscaloosa, Old Colony is a great thing to have. It's a great golf course, and it's a good place to just get outside and enjoy the outdoors for a couple hours. But I'm really excited about this new facility that we're building just next to Newport. It's going to be awesome. And I think we're going to end up like donating the Pate Center back to Old Colony. So they might be doing like another 9 holes or something soon. I'm not for sure on that. Don't take me for my word on that. But yeah, I love Old Colony. It's been great. And it's a good place to get better. And we have gotten better the last 2 years. So we've taken full advantage of the Pate.
Ken, what do you like to do when you're not playing golf? When you're stepping away from the golf course, what are some of your activities or hobbies that you're into?
I really like to go fish or swim. Like I love being in any body of water. That's the best. So anything like around water, I guess, is great. Fishing, swimming. I do a little bit of hunting every now and then, but more so on the fishing side. And then just like hanging with the boys, like watching sports, just like going to football games, going to basketball games, going to baseball games. Like we try and take full advantage of like the student athlete tickets for all these games. Like I went to 4 gymnast meets or I guess that's what it's called, gymnastics meets, and then went to like 15 baseball games, went to a bunch of basketball games. Like we go to every home football game. So we love, like, it's really cool getting to know these guys. Like we got to know the baseball team really well last year. And that was like awesome, watching them make it to a regional and played really good in the SEC tournament. Like it was just really cool watching the guys that on like TV or like at the plate live. So I think the golf team we really like to get around the other sports at UA, and that's like a big part of kind of what we do when we have a little time off.
I think that's awesome. Supporting it, supporting your athletic brothers and sisters. I love it. What's a good fishing story? What's a big fish you've caught, or any fish taking you into the water, or any mishaps for you?
Nah, not taking me into the water, but I did catch a 15-pounder largemouth down in Orlando a couple of years ago. That was my personal best. That was a beast. I'll never forget that. So that was my favorite fish I've ever caught. But I don't know. Like if anybody listening to this in Tuscaloosa has any ponds or lakes that I can fish, just send me like a DM or something on Instagram or Twitter, and I'll come fish your lake for you.
I'll send. I have a couple of people who like to fish. I'll pass it along to them. You're looking for a spot.
Perfect. I appreciate that because I don't have a boat and I can't go out on Lake Tuscaloosa, so it's like there's nowhere to fish.
I see people down. I live close to Northport, so I live right next to the Riverwalk, and I'll see them walking down the Riverwalk, and I'm like, I bet you're not getting much fish right there on the bank, but
yeah,
that's what they're doing. Okay, let's talk about just golf in general. Because I love golf. As I said, I'm not very good, but I'm sitting here watching golf this past year, and really noticing, especially with the Open, the recent major. Interesting course strategy by a lot of the pros, and I wonder your take on it. All right, so one thing at the Open, there's a lot of the pros, they're shanking it into the rough. Not shanking it, it's on purpose, over into the rough to avoid the internal out of bounds. And I'm asking a couple of my golf buddies who are better than me, why are they not just sticking it right on the fairway? Why are they not just trying to play it a little shorter, put it on the fairway? And they're just strong. They're just bopping it. They're just trying to hit it as far as they can. They know that they're not afraid of the rough, this, that, or the other. And I think that just seems like a strange strategy. Obviously, Brian Harman wins the Open playing shorter, playing more accurately. And then you see in the same sort of discussions, lots of complaints about hole number 17 at the Open, 135 yard par 3. That was like, calling it unfair because of winds and elevation changes. And I think to myself, these guys are pros. Shouldn't that be, should it be challenging to do that? What's your approach to course strategy? And just, obviously you're hitting the golf ball much better than the average man. What's your approach to beating the golf course?
Yeah, it changes at every place, right? Like, depends. Like, if you're in Scotland, it's going to be a different game plan than Chicago. But
sure,
I think the debate right now is more so like the ball is going too far. And I don't agree with that like at all. I think that's a stupid, like, uneducated take. Because like I don't know why you would want the ball to go shorter. Like it makes no sense. It's not fun to watch. Like no, I wouldn't imagine like guys want to sit on the couch on Sunday and watch dudes make bogeys and doubles. Like that's not fun.
No.
So I don't know. I think with the ball and the technology the way it is right now, like some dudes love to bomb and just like hit it everywhere and it works like most of the time. And then you have guys like Brian Harmon who kind of like dissect a course more. They'll take angles differently and maybe hit less than driver off the tee just to be in the fairway. And I'm more so like on the Brian Harmon train where like I'm not a bomber, so I just try and place it where I can have a good angle and where I have a club that I'm comfortable with out of the fairway. But yeah, I mean the game is changing, like, and it's always going to be changing. But I would like to see, you know, the PGA Tour and some of these tournaments go back to older, shorter courses, and they just make them more difficult. Whether that be firming the greens up, growing the rough out, like there are ways to make the scores higher without rolling a ball back or rolling a driver back. I think we need to get back to making golf courses more difficult and not really caring what the golfer says post round about the golf course. Because like it's our job to be tested, and like we shouldn't be shooting 25 under at these golf courses every week. And I think a lot of the PGA Tour, like they don't push these golf courses to be as hard as they can. I think they have like a 2.5 to 3 inch limit on the rough, whether that be like to limit injuries or something. I don't know, but I mean there shouldn't be a reason where like a golf course every fourth week has 5-inch rough and greens that are rolling 14s. Like the winning score will be 10 under, like maybe, right? I think watching guys shoot 30 under is cool every once in a while, but when they do it every week, it gets a little boring. So I think there are different ways to approach the game, different ways to approach different golf courses, and I don't think like one way is the best way to do it. I think it kind of just depends on who you are and what you want to do that week. So yeah, it's an interesting question.
I'm kind of with you with that. I think you guys are, I mean, y'all are the best of the best. And so I don't mean to put you all in hard situations, but, you know, y'all can play the game a whole lot better than I can. So, you know, I'll see a tough hole and put up a 10 and say, all right, next hole. But I don't want to hear the PGA guys go, that hole was unfair. It's like, well, I just did a 10. Your 6 or your 5 is fine.
Yeah. No, 100%.
You finished 4th last year at the SEC tournament, is what I've got read. What's SEC tournaments over in Georgia, the island right off of Georgia? What's that event like? A lot of people say that it's underrated. It's in the kind of SEC baseball kind of event where you got to get to at one time.
Yeah, it's really, really cool, man. It's like probably my favorite tournament of the year that we play. It's 3 rounds of stroke play, and then 8 teams make match play, and you just play match play until the end, until there's one left. It's a really great event. We've drawn Vanderbilt the last 2 years in match play, and that's been a nightmare in the first round, having to play the number 1 team in the country. But it's a great event, like something I look forward to at the start of the year, like counting down the days till the SEC tournament. So it's a really cool event. Like if people haven't been before, I would recommend going because it's like it's free to watch. You know, you just like walk out and you're on the golf course, and we're there, and we're usually playing pretty good golf. So it's a cool place to be, a cool place to watch, and it's a beautiful place too. It's right on the water, and we have a great week. So yeah, that's one of my favorite tournaments of the year. And I kind of am really, really wanting to win an SEC championship this year. So I think that's going to be another big goal for ours going forward. But yeah, it's a great tournament. I would recommend going watching to anyone.
Awesome. We've been talking to senior golfer Canon Claycomb right here on the Joe Gaither Show. Canon, thank you for your time. I only have a couple more questions left for you. We'll let you get back to driving. NIL has been has been in play for what now 2 years now. How has look? Everybody sees the football guys doing stuff, and everybody sees basketball guys doing stuff, and great for them. Make their money, do their thing. How has NIL been able? How have you guys been able, or how have you been able to maybe take advantage of the name, image, and likeness rules changing?
Yeah, I mean, in golf, it's a little different because we have NCAA rules and we have USGA rules. So there are
Oh,
limits on like what you can do because of
okay,
like we're amateurs, right? So
right,
to remain an amateur, there are like a different set of laws, but we are doing like a lot of stuff in NIL. Like we sell swinging elephant merch, which is still available, I'm pretty sure. And then yeah, Alabama has been like a big part of that. They help with all the golf stuff as well. And then like for golfers, we're kind of independent contractors. Like even when we're playing for UA, right? Because we're ourselves that like 5 individuals that play for a team instead of being a member of the football team.
right.
So a lot of it is like a lot of guys have done deals like on their own. I've done deals like on my own. But there have been like team wide deals where we'll sell merch and get like a cut of that or stuff like that. But it's nothing like football. I mean, like none of us are signing $850,000 contracts. Like I wish, but that's not how it works. And but it is great. Like a little cash here and there, like helps pay my rent, helps buy food and stuff like that. So I think it's been a great change. Like I think NIL was needed in college athletics, and like I'm not like against anything that football or basketball is doing. I think they should get as much money as they can for 4 years before they go off and do something else. So really happy for those guys, and yeah, contribute to Yale, Alabama, so I can pay my rent next month. So that would be great.
We support that, paying the rent, and we love the Swing and Elephant logo. What's maybe your favorite piece of merch with that logo on it?
Yeah, the T-shirts are really good. The golf shirts are really cool. They're all FootJoy golf shirts, I believe. But the hats are usually like what goes off the rack really fast. There was a camo hat back in the day. I don't know if they're still selling it, but it was like a camo American Needle with the swinging elephant on it. It was really sick. So yeah, check out the shop. I mean, like check out the store. They have really cool stuff on there, and it's all like really high quality as well. So check it out. You might like something.
There we go. Yep, I'll find a link and I'll link it on the article. When I finish this interview, so anybody who wants to support Canon and the golf team can absolutely do that. We encourage that tenfold over. Support all of our athletes at the
Yes,
university.
absolutely, 100%.
Kenny, real quick, one or two more for you. What's something that you are looking? What is something that you're working on your game? You one more year in college. You want to say, I want to improve this aspect of my game in my final year. Obviously, everything is up for improvement. But what's something that you're okay? I want to really needle or nail down this aspect of my game.
Yeah, I want to become like very dangerous with the putter. I want people to like not want me to have a putter in my hand. Because like so I've won 2 events in college. The first one I won by 7, the next one I won by 8. And like those 2 weeks I just putted really good. That was the difference. And it's like if I can just get a little more consistency in the putting week in and week out, like I'm gonna start competing to win a lot more than I am right now. And then like I want to be a really good driver of the golf ball too, not necessarily linked, but like negating penalties off the tee, or even like not even penalties, but like errant shots where it's a punch out. Like you're losing half a shot on the field every time you have to punch out, right? So I want to be really good off the tee, and I want to get consistent with the putter, and that's kind of the goal for this year. And then hopefully, that propels me to success at the next level, which would be professional golf. So yeah, I want to be a good driver of the ball and a consistent putter of the ball. So those are the 2 things I'm working towards.
There we go. We love that. We can't get you out of here without a football question. We are opening fall camp today, and you mentioned going to a bunch of football games with the golf buddies. What do you expect, or what's your hope for the 2023 football season? Just all kind of as a big umbrella view of it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say I expect anything because I'm not at practice or at fall
Sure,
camp, and I'm not
sure.
contributing to anybody on that team. But I hope they win the national championship selfishly, so I can go in the streets of Tuscaloosa after the game and celebrate with everybody else. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't know why anybody would ever doubt Saban. Like, that just seems like the blindest take by anyone ever. So I trust Nick Saban. I trust everybody on that football team, and I can't wait to watch them beat MTSU like 70-3 the first week, and then Texas is going to be an awesome game. We have a lot of great home games. Quick shout out to my boy Seth McLaughlin. He is the starting center. Love that guy. One of my best friends. So that's like my favorite part of watching football games. Like, oh my God, it's Seth, number 56. But yeah, no, love those guys. They work super hard, and they don't deserve to have anybody like tell them that they expect them to win a national championship. That's like their job, and they know that's their job. So yeah, I trust Nick Saban. I trust the football team. We're going to win a national championship.
Roll Tide, roll Tide. All right, last question for us is: you mentioned you're graduating in December. What will the degree say at the end of the year?
Yeah, so I'm doing sports media in undergrad. Taking a lot of journalism classes, stuff like that. I would like to do like on-course reporting if golf didn't work out for like NBC or ABC, something like that. And then I'm going to do sports marketing for a graduate degree when I have to go to grad school in the spring. So going to have those two on the resume. Really excited to get finished with my undergrad. It feels like it's been forever, but it's also feel like it's flown by. So yeah, sports media and sports marketing.
That's very good. That's awesome. You can follow Canon Claycomb at Canon Claycomb on the Twitter machine. Canon, tell everybody how else they can support you, any other social medias that you want people to check you out on, or any other causes that you want to leave us with that we can support you and the golf team.
Yeah, absolutely. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter. It's just Canon Claycomb, all one word. And then support, I would just say, wear your Swinging Elephant hats, wear your Swinging Elephant shirts, tweet us, like, follow along on GolfStat when we're playing. We appreciate everybody that, tweets, texts, all that stuff. We see it, and we really appreciate it. So, yeah, all I have to say is roll Tide, and it's going to be a great year for Bama golf, I think.
There we go, Ken. And if you need a putter, I have a Scotty Cameron that's not doing me very well. You're welcome to it if you need it. So just holler at me.
We might have to do like a jersey swap.
I am about it. I'll be down with that. Absolutely. Thank you for your time. Be safe on. I think it's I-65 driving all the way back. Thank you so much for your time.
Great stuff. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I appreciate the interview, and hope to keep in touch.
Absolutely. Me too. Thank you for your time. Good luck this year and get back safely.
Thanks, man. Roll Tide.
Yes, sir. Roll Tide. That's Canon Claycomb. What a pleasure for me joining us on the Joe Gaither Show. I know it's a golf-centric episode, and for you guys who are looking for football, we'll get football right back on the program. I just love all sports. I tell my friends, I tell my parents, if it has a scoreboard or if it has a judge's table, if someone's keeping track of the sport, I usually enjoy it to some degree. And I love golf. I appreciate how challenging it is. God, it is with you. Bane of my existence, challenging, but I love getting out there. Beautiful days, beautiful times getting out on a course, hacking around. Canon Claycomb, Nick Dunlap, Thomas Ponder, lots of great golfers right here at the Capstone right now. We encourage you guys to follow them. Check them out. Check out Yay, Alabama. That's a great way to support the golf team. Obviously, look, the football, basketball, we want them to get all of their money as well and be involved in NIL as well. But we can do our part to support maybe the less popular sports. And I love golf, so I want to encourage you guys to go out and buy the Swinging Elephant gear to support the golf team and Coach Jay Seawell and his program. Look, we're going to get out of here for the day. I'm going to go to, I got a big day, actually. The only thing that's pertinent to you, the listener, is this. Two things. One, I'm going to watch women's basketball open practice. I'm going to watch Christy Curry's team open practice, I believe at 2:30 or so. They're going to open practice at Foster's Auditorium for the media, and then they're going on a little bit of a tour is what it looks like. Let me go back and double check my email here. Yes, ma'am. They're going on a 10-day foreign trip to Spain, departing on Saturday. So today at 2:30, we're going to be over there watching practice, watching the ladies play, and that'll be a lot of fun. And then at 4:30, of course, we already mentioned it, I'll be over at the Naylor Stone Media Room for Nick Saban's first post-practice press conference. What will the GOAT say? No, he's not going to tell you the quarterback. No, he's not going to tell you who the starters are. But Coach will be talking, and we will be listening right here on BamaCentral.com. So that's going to do it for our program today. We want to encourage you guys. Look, we appreciate Casey Poe joining us yesterday. Alabama offensive lineman commit Casey Poe joined us yesterday on the show. You can hear it on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on Amazon. You can watch it on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Anywhere that you get the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central, you can find that interview. Thank you so much to Canon Claycomb joining me in the last hour. Please tell a friend about Canon. And if you got a golf buddy, he's a great one to support. The next up-and-comer for our Alabama Crimson Tide, obviously highlighting Lee Hodges, Davis Riley, Davis Shore, Justin Thomas, many, Wilson Furr, many others already in the professional ranks. So we want to encourage Canon Claycomb and support him as well. So that's going to do it for our program today. Again, go follow our other Bama Central Broadcasting Network podcast. We've got all things Bama and Blue Collar Unplugged. And I am the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central. The three of us together make up the Bama Central Broadcasting Network. You can follow my boss at Writing Walsh. Chris Walsh handles each and everything for us at Bama Central. Follow me at Joe Gaither6 on the social media. Send me your comments, questions, queries, and complaints. And make sure you tune in tomorrow for another edition of the Joe Gaither Show right here on Bama Central and BamaCentral.com.